So the title of today's discussion is, it's not about your SP. You are the center of the story. This is perfectly in alignment with the challenge that we are doing in the Discord right now. Right now, if you are in the Discord, if you're not, there's a free link in the bio. You can join the Discord. We have movie nights. We have game nights. We have debate nights. We have lectures that are done inside there. We have coaching sessions inside there. We have all kinds of things. We have community. We have games. We have us. It's great. And it's free. Go and join that. But right now what we're doing is a 7-day challenge. Today was day 1, and the challenge is called Make It About You. Reality does revolve around you. Okay? All right, cool. YouTube is working. All right. So this is gonna talk about, what do I mean when I say that? When I say that you should make it about yourself, what do I actually mean by that? So that's what we're gonna go through. I actually can't turn this off because my battery's low, so it might die. I don't plan on this one being too long, but if it is, I'm tripping. I got to keep that shit on. All right, so let's go. The first quote we're gonna talk about: you were never meant to orbit your own creation. What is the difference between saying the SP loves me versus saying I am love? Therefore, of course, the SP loves me. What is the difference? Well, the center of the reality is the difference. But we're going to talk about that a little bit in a second, because you might think, well, it's just semantics. Is it? All right, so let's go. The hidden habit, living as the side character. And if you don't know what SP means, it means specific person. A specific person. All right? Most people don't realize this, but their entire life is being lived in reference to something outside of them. Not intentionally, not consciously, but very subtly. They wake up and immediately check, what did they say? What did they do? Did anything change yet? Is there movement yet? And without noticing, they've made something out there the center of their inner world. They've made something out there the center of their inner world. This is how a king, this is how a queen forgets their throne. Because the moment your awareness leaves yourself as the source, you begin measuring your life by reflections instead of authorship. Now, what is the potential danger of saying, well, my primary identity, when I say, who are you? What's your identity? And you say, I'm in this loving relationship. What is the danger? Is it wrong? No. But what is the potential danger about it? You're not making it about yourself. So if my central identity is I am in a loving relationship, well, guess what? Guess what? Now I'm constantly monitoring out there. I'm measuring myself by that one singular thing. So life could be great, business-wise, health-wise, family could be good. You're like, I don't know. My life hasn't gotten better since I've learned all this manifesting stuff because I still don't have this. In it is the hidden assumption right there. There's something hidden underneath that statement. You're still measuring yourself by that thing. If you don't think your life's gotten better because of one thing out there, and this isn't meant to, it is kind of meant to trigger you, but it's meant to wake you up with love. If your life's not good enough because of one thing out there, you are still measuring your life based on a single outcome. So the external thing is your God. There is a difference between saying, I am love. Therefore, love flows to me in all these beautiful ways. And that person is only one form within awareness that also shows up, versus saying my entire identity is this person loves me. This person loves me. I'm in a relationship with this person. How do I get them back? There's a difference. We're going to go into this with a little bit more detail. You're going to understand this as clearly as I can make it by the time we get to the end of this. All right. So the moment your awareness leaves yourself as the source, you begin measuring your life by reflections instead of authorship. This will make more sense in a second. And reflections are always delayed. So now you're stuck watching shadows, trying to determine your worth based on echoes. All right. So here's a quote from me. All right. And I know some of y'all have been asking, hey, why don't you put the documents up anymore? Gotten DMs about it, comments about it. I'm not putting them up because I'm finishing a book with them. So I'm keeping them to myself for a while. All right. but I can finally start quoting myself now. So here's a quote from me. The moment you start watching life to decide who you are, you've already stepped. The moment you start watching life to decide who you are, you've already stepped out of your own story. Think about that, right? The moment you start watching life to decide who you are, you've already stepped outside of your own story. When you start watching life to decide who you are, you've unknowingly handed your authority over to appearances. I am in this loving relationship. Okay, this becomes your central identity. When this is your central identity, here's the issue. You begin scanning people. You begin scanning this person. You begin scanning circumstances. You begin scanning outcomes like they hold the answer to your identity. Now, I want you to really challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to stay with me. Whether you're triggered or not, challenge yourself to sit in this fire. Okay, how can you on one hand say circumstances don't matter, the external doesn't matter, and then sit here in your primary identity is I am in a loving relationship with this person. This is your this is the center point of your life. I'm in a relationship with this person. So now every time you open your eyes, you don't see. And you're measuring the outcome. You're measuring the circumstance. Doesn't that feel like a war? It feels like a war within you. And then the question that you will ask is, how can I just ignore this? How can I be this when I obviously don't see it? It feels like psychosis. You feel psychotic. You feel deranged, as you should. Because why? You're making them your source. My central identity is being with this person. This person is with me. Instead of you saying what I just am love. And so all things reflect that love to me. And that person is one form of that love. So of course they will flow to me. Consciousness needs to be conscious of something. Awareness needs to be aware of something. The purpose of your awareness, what awareness is, awareness manifests within you as you with one goal, to be self-aware. So you're always being aware of yourself. However, we get distracted and we use external forms to base that awareness on, right? So what do I mean by that? Okay. You're always aware of yourself. You're always I am or I am not. But oftentimes we're using our thoughts and our emotions and our circumstances to paint the picture of who we are instead of me using my consciousness simply to turn to myself and be conscious of me. Don't worry, I got a graphic to display this. We got a graphic to display this in a second. All right. So when I'm saying, oh yeah, my central, who are you? Who are you, Alex? Who are you, whatever your name is? Well, I am this person. I'm in a loving, committed relationship. Okay. So now you're constantly scanning people, circumstances, outcomes like they hold the answer to your identity. Every reaction becomes a mirror you depend on. Doesn't that make it difficult to ignore the quote unquote hot and cold behavior? Your central identity is I'm in a loving relationship. Now I have to persist in that even when they're cheating. Doesn't that feel like it's going to drive you insane? I know it does, because you haven't made it about you. You're still leaning on, okay, yeah, I'm source, but I'm leaning on this person. So internally, you're saying I am source, I am source, I am source, but you're still leaning on this person as your anchor to really pull you into the knowing of your source. Instead of being self-aware of it, just saying, I am source, therefore I am love. And this person, of course, they will flow to me in that love, however it looks like, because I have chosen who I am. Your central identity is I am love. The secondary identity is, of course, they will flow to me, as all things will, because they are all reflecting the love that I am. Let's get a little bit deeper. All right. So now every reaction becomes a mirror that you depend on. Every delay feels like rejection. Every movement outside of you starts to dictate how you feel within. You've given them authority to drag your heart around, to drag your emotions around, to drag your thoughts around. Without realizing it, you've moved from being the author of your experience to becoming a spectator. You're no longer the author. You're constantly in spectator mode. What are they going to do today? Is that going to be the day they show up right? Then they don't. They quote unquote don't. And because your entire identity is based on them, it feels painful, heart-wrenching. It's like somebody just sticks that knife in you and twists it. You say, yeah, but I know that I'm God. Yeah, but I know that I'm God. And it becomes a battle to even remember that. I get it. All right. So without realizing it, you've moved from being the author of your experience to becoming a spectator, trying to interpret a story that was always meant to be written from within. But the shift happens when you return to yourself. When you stop looking outward for confirmation and instead decide who you are, independent of what is seen. You step back into the center of the story. Life no longer becomes something you are analyzing. It becomes something that reflects you. You're no longer reacting to the world. You're meeting it from a place of authorship. And when you're meeting reality from a place of authorship, everything can reorganize because you finally remember where the story was always being written. If the story is always being written as me, then why am I sitting here making my central identity I am with somebody instead of making it I am somebody? Therefore, they naturally flow to me because they have no fucking choice. That's just who I am. Let's go further, okay? Because I know that was an overview. Now we're going to get specific. If you're still lost, that's cool. Stick with me, all right? So next, the great misplacement of power. The great misplacement of power. Let's make this clear in a way that might sting, it might sizzle a little bit, all right? When you say my SP loves me, all right, think about the order of that. My SP is out there, loves me. Think about this. Think about this. Stick with me. My SP out there loves me. What are you doing? You are subtly placing your awareness on them. Even if the statement is positive, the center of that statement is who? It's them. It's external. So even if the statement is positive, my SP loves me. They're obsessed with me. They love me. They can't get enough of me. Even if it's positive, the source of the story is them. Is that wrong? No. It just can create some issues. A little bit of resistance. It can make you feel a little deranged. That's all. You can get through it. Is it impossible? No, of course not. But why take the difficult road? All right. So even if the statement is positive, the center is still external. Now your mind begins asking what? Do they love me yet? You said, yeah, SP loves me. Well, do they love me yet? This is what y'all do, right? You say, oh yeah, who are you though? Well, I choose to know that my SP loves me. And they just did this, but they're still here and they're, okay, cool. Your mind is constantly asking what? Do they love me yet? Are they showing it? When will I see it? What are they doing now? Everything they do becomes a measurement of your worth because your central identity is based on them showing up a certain way. They are the barometer of your worth. You've made them the scoreboard. You've made them the scoreboard. Right? The moment something becomes the scoreboard, anytime you make something outside of you the scoreboard, you have made it your God. All right, I'm going to say that a little bit slower. You know, you might be processing a line or two behind me, okay? When you make somebody else the center of your reality, my SP loves me, my SP loves me, they love me, they love me, they can't get enough, they can't get enough. Even if you do that and they come back, as soon as y'all have an argument, you're going to slip back into what do I do? What identity? They still love me, they still love me. Okay, so when you make someone else the center of your reality, now your mind begins asking, what? Do they love me yet? Are they showing it? When will I see it? You've made them the scoreboard. And the moment something becomes the scoreboard, you've unknowingly made it your God. Some of you, the entire truth that you are source would crumble if you caught your specific person with somebody else. Your entire identity of source would fall apart. You would be in shambles. You would be crashing out, nervous breakdown. Why? Because you've made somebody else the center of your reality. Okay? So Matthew 6:21. Matthew 6:21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. Listen to that. Wherever your treasure is, there your heart will also be. Okay? Where your treasure is, there your heart will be. Is not just about what you value. It is about what you are centering your life around. Whatever you place your attention on as important, okay, hear this. Whatever you place your attention on as important becomes the anchor of your emotional world. If the most important thing in your life, this man, this woman loves you, well, then guess what? That becomes the anchor for your emotional world. If your treasure is a person, their actions will move your heart. Their actions will break your heart. Their actions will uplift your heart. If your treasure is outcomes, your peace will rise and fall with circumstances. But if your treasure is your own being, your own knowing that your source, your identity, your connection to source, then your heart stabilizes within you. You stop being pulled by appearances because you're no longer invested in them as the authority. Okay? Hear your boy out. This verse is asking you to look at what you're treating as your source of meaning. Because your heart doesn't randomly wander. It follows what you've decided matters most. So if you place your treasure back within in your awareness, your identity, your I am, your heart follows you there. And from that place, you no longer need to chase love, validation, confirmation, because you're rooted in it. And everything else that appears in your life begins to reflect what you've already chosen as your true treasure. Okay? So are we placing the treasure on that person, or are we placing the treasure on our own being? I just am love. Everything else is just a reflection of that. Everything else is secondary. I just am love. Where's your treasure? Are they your treasure, or are you your treasure? You for damn sure better make sure you the treasure. Okay? You for damn sure better make sure that you're the treasure. All right? This is why people feel unstable. This is why y'all become crash out artists. This is why y'all lie to me and say, no, it's about me. And then 2 days later, you're doing backflips off the bed, crying and screaming at the moon, wishing for something. They just don't love me. Nothing's going right. Everything's going right. It was just that one circumstance just doesn't look right. You're fine. Get up. Please, get up. You're fine. You're still the center of this. All right? This is why people feel unstable, because they're trying to stabilize themselves through something that was never meant to hold that role. Your musty, dusty, funky, crusty, snaggle-tooth, busted ass, broke ass, jobless SP was never meant to hold the role as your stabilizer. They were never meant to stabilize you. They were just meant to be a token to show up, to celebrate the love that you already are. You were meant to celebrate you. You were meant to stabilize you. You were meant to worship your own being. Put your faith in the Lord, in the law, in the truth, in the knowing of who you are and your identity. Stop making false idols. See, when you start creating these false idols out of your SPs, right? This is why I keep telling y'all, come back to the truth. It's about you. It's about when you keep making these false idols, you turn into a crash out artist, don't you? That shit doesn't feel good, does it? because they're not meant to play that role. They're not meant to be your God. They're not meant to be your God. You are the center of reality. Or have you forgotten? Or are you just saying that? You're the center of reality. Let's go further, okay? So the shift from receiver to source. From receiver to source. Now, check this out, okay? I want you to feel the difference energetically in this statement. Instead of my SP loves me, okay? Instead of my SP loves me, I want you to move into I just am love. I want you to feel the difference energetically. I want you to feel, where does the energy feel like it is when you say that my SP loves me? Doesn't that energy feel outside of you versus I am love? So of course he flows to me. Of course she flows to me. Of course opportunities flow to me. Of course the prosperity and the money and the wealth and the health and the well-being and the charisma and the opportunities and all those delicious things flow to you. Of course, because you just are love. Completely different. Okay? Pause right here. What when we say that, when the difference between my SP loves me and I am love is what? It's not it's not just a different affirmation. It is identity relocation. You are relocating identity. My SP loves me, puts the SP at the center. I am love. You're relocating identity to the source, to the truth, to the center. Right? You're no longer waiting for love to arrive. You're recognizing that love is what you are being right now. And from this center, I am love. From this center, from this energetic center, this being, okay? Of course love flows. Of course love reflects. Of course. Of course it appears through people. Of course. Including your specific person. But now, they're not the source of it. They're just an expression of what you already are. This is why the most powerful thing for you to just realize is I am limitless. I just am. I am. Who are you? I am. I am everything I desire to be. SP's included, money's included, health included, prosperity included, but my the center point, I'm stabilized based on me. This ain't about getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? Check the divine comment out right there. It's not about getting anything. Life's going to do what it do. Things are going to come to you anyway. This is about remembering who you are. It's about a recognition of truth. All that shit shows up as a byproduct of this. The manifestation, the miracle is you walking in the knowing of who you are. I don't know how many times I got to slap you all over the head and say that. It's not about the shit. But when you get so concerned with the shit, sometimes you got to fall and fall and fall and fall until you get up and say, God damn, maybe these motherfuckers was right when they said it wasn't about the speakers. Y'all just get up here, glasses looking like, all right, y'all, I'm good now. I done got knocked over the head a couple times, but I'm all right now. I'm going to make it about me finally. Please do. Please do. Okay? Here we go. Now, Luke 17:21. It says, the kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. All right? The kingdom of God is within you is I cooked with this one, all right? It's a direct collapse of every idea that what you seek is somewhere else. It's not saying the kingdom will come or that you must earn it or find it through people or circumstances. It's saying that what you're searching for already exists as your own awareness. Okay. Listen. Stop typing. Listen, all right? Same one y'all typing is the ones that's going to ask the same fucking questions. All right. Stop fucking typing. Listen. All right. What is this saying? It's saying that what you're searching for already exists as your own awareness, your own being, peace, love, authority, fulfillment. These are not rewards handed to you by life. They are states that arise from within. And when you overlook that, when you don't recognize that peace, love, authority, fulfillment, wealth, everything that you want are states that rise from within, you begin chasing reflections of the kingdom instead of recognizing that you are the place it flows from. When you don't recognize that truth, what do? You chase reflections of the kingdom. So the shift is not in getting something new. It is in turning inward and claiming what has always been present. When you realize the kingdom is within, when you truly realize this, when y'all stop lying to me saying you realize this, and when you really realize this, you're going to stop asking the world for permission to feel whole. You're going to stop measuring your life by what is or is not happening externally. Oh, they did this. And so now, life's shattered. Life's falling apart, right? You're going to stop measuring your life by what is or is not happening externally. Instead, you begin to live from the inside out. This is what I always talk about. You live from the inside out, not the outside in. You're going to begin to live from the inside out, grounded, certain, and self-defined. You can show up if you want. I know you will. But I know who I am right now. From that place, life begins to mirror that inner kingdom because you finally stop looking outside for what was always living within you. It's not about your SP loving you. Of course they love you, but they're just one form within awareness. You are the source. It's about you using your awareness to recognize the unconditional love that you are, to strip away the conditions that you've been placing on you looking at yourself and knowing yourself as love, and then watching when you strip those conditions away and you begin to just be aware of yourself as the unconditional, limitless being that is already everything you desire to be, the floodgates fucking open. Why have one SP when you can have three? This is the difference between what? Chasing water. This is the difference between chasing water and realizing you are the spring. The difference between chasing water and realizing that you are the spring. Right? Here we go. I'm about to get to this document in a second. Awareness is always aware. But more subtly, it is always aware of itself through something. So you're just pure awareness. If I say, hey, who are you? The uninitiated, the unenlightened. None of you, of course, but maybe in the past you would have said, well, shit, I'm Alex, Alexander Dwayne. You feel me? I'm a brother, I'm a son, I do this is what I do, this is how I make money, this is how I show up in the world, right? You would explain yourself based on physical attributes on how you interact with the world. But what you are is larger than that. It's awareness. And what is aware? Awareness is just awareness. It stretches from here to infinity, all timelines, all realities, all whatever you want to call it. It is just everything. All right. Now, what is the purpose of awareness? To be aware, yes. But you're having a human experience as awareness, meaning awareness is being aware of itself through you. Okay? This is a paradox. Aware of itself through you. There is no self to be aware of. You get what I'm saying? It's a concession. We talk like this to make sense. Awareness is being aware of itself through you. So you're giving yourself a individualized human experience by being aware of who you are in every moment. You're always aware of who you are. Even if you're not being present and being aware of I am everything I desire to be right now, a thought might show up and you might identify with it. Things aren't working out. They never work out. You're being aware of yourself through that thought now. A circumstance that looks like things are fucking up. You're being aware of yourself through that thing. So you're always being aware of yourself. That person does something. You're judging them. You're like, ugh, I don't fucking like them. You're being aware of yourself as someone who doesn't like them. You're being aware of yourself as someone who doesn't like them. Okay? Do you feel that? So you're always being aware of yourself. So I want to preface this section by saying that. So awareness is always aware. But more subtly, it's always aware of itself through something. Every thought, every emotion, every person, every circumstance are forms within awareness taking on a shape so it can experience its own nature. Let's go further, all right? You are never not aware. We call it unconscious, but that just means we're just being drugged willy-nilly by whatever. But even in those times you're unconscious, you're still aware of who you are. You're still aware of yourself as something, okay? So you're never not aware. The only question is, what are you identifying with in that awareness? Are you aware as the one who is lacking, waiting, reacting, or are you aware as the one who is whole, complete, and already being what you desire? The content, the thoughts, the circumstances, the emotions may shift constantly, but the awareness behind it remains unchanged. Always aware of self through something, as something, always aware. And when you recognize that, you're going to stop getting lost in what you are aware of and begin to return to who is aware. Does that sound like a little riddle? Don't worry, we're going to go further. So this is where unconditional love becomes real as a decision and identity. It is you choosing to see yourself as love, regardless of what thoughts arise, regardless of what emotions pass through, regardless of what the world appears to show you. It is the refusal to condition your worth, your wholeness, or your identity on anything external. You remain in the knowing that you are a limitless being, already existing as every version of yourself you could ever desire. From that place, nothing needs to change for you to be complete. You're recognizing that you already are it. And you choose to stand there no matter what tries to convince you otherwise. Hence the quote, I am that I am no matter what. We don't just say that shit for fun around here. Okay? So check out this diagram. If you're on TikTok and you can't see it, oh well. All right. But it's on YouTube and Instagram. All right. So I want you to look at this. This person right here represents you. In this moment, this person is always answering the question, who am I? Now, if you are aware in this moment, right, you can always answer this question by saying, I am everything I desire to be. Because within you are all of these versions of you. You see all these people across the top? It represents every version of you, right? This is the version of you that's poor, rich, free, that's prosperity, that's healthy, that's whole, that's love, that's got it. This, every version of you that you desire to be exists here. And the moment that you say, I am everything I desire to be, based on your choice, you light up as all the versions that you desire to be right now in this moment. Now, what happens is that you have these things circling you. So you are this self-aware being right here. But now you have thoughts that are constantly circling this awareness, doubts, fears. Can you still decide that you're everything you desire to be with them? Of course. Circling you as well, you have the emotions, you have worry, you have anger, all these emotions circling you, but you're still in the center. So these things are always trying to pull you out of the center and say, hey, identify with me, identify with the doubt, identify with the worry. But you can sit here and let those things be and be aware of who you are. On the external, you have the circumstance, you have the storms of life, you have the fires, you have this woman yawning, right? You have time crunch. You have all the money that you want. You have heartbreak. You have betrayal. You have all of these seeming circumstances going on around you, trying to pull you, saying, hey, identify with me. But you are still in the center. So you can either stay in the center and be conscious of yourself as what you desire to be, or you can venture out here and you can let the emotions define you. You can let the thoughts define you. You can let the circumstances define you. It's all about you. It's all about you, right? So you're constantly in the center of your reality, choosing who you are at every single moment. Every single moment, this is you. Every single moment, this is you. You don't have to, I cannot stress this enough. You don't have to identify with the thoughts and the emotions and the circumstances. You're collapsing all of these parallel realities, frames of you. You're collapsing all of them right here. You're turning all of them into light right here. You're lighting all of them up. They're turning into light and they're being cast out of you, and you're walking into who you are every single moment. Stay here. Stay present. Make it about you. I am already everything I desire to be. Beautiful. All right. So next. All right. Next. Identity shapes perception, not the other way around. Okay. Of course, it's fine. Like, most people are waiting to see something before they become something. But perception doesn't work like that. You don't see love and then feel loved. Some of y'all are like, oh, yes, I do. You don't see love and then feel loved. You are love, and then you perceive a world that matches it. You are love, then you perceive a world that matches it, right? So we know the first Hermetic principle, right? As within, so without. All is mind, the universe is mental. Hermes Trismegistus, aka Thoth, Mercury. Right? Some even say that he is Enoch. All right. So Hermes Trismegistus, as within, so without. All right. Here we go. If you are being someone who is chosen, who is secure, who is desired, then everything you interpret begins to confirm that. But if you're being someone who is waiting, questioning, analyzing, even neutral events will feel like rejection. If you're constantly the person who is saying, oh, my SP loves me, and now you're waiting. Do they love me yet? Did they text me yet? What did they say? I know it's unfolding. I'm just sitting here, but I'm waiting, and I can't wait, and I'm just so tired of it. And then you're constantly questioning. Then you're constantly analyzing. And now even a neutral event, they don't call you for 2 hours. 2 hours because they ate some spicy food. They took a shit. The shit was rough because they're older now. Then they took a nap. They took a shower and a fucking nap. They didn't wake up for 2.5 hours. Your mind was going fucking crazy. But I'm in my knowing. He loves me. Even neutral events will feel like rejection. Right? Same reality, different identity, completely different experience. It's got to be about you. You're the only person that can anchor you. You are trying to make your anchor somebody who was never meant to be your anchor. They're never meant to be your anchor. All right? Cool. Number 5, the illusion of progress. So here's where people get trapped. They start doing the work. People start, quote unquote, doing the work, but they're still secretly watching the outside. They're still secretly watching the outside. They're thinking, I feel better, but nothing has changed yet. Hear that again. Read that again for me in there. I should have deleted that. I feel better, but nothing has changed yet. Because what they're really saying is, I still believe the outside is the authority. That's what you're really saying. What do you mean nothing has changed? You're your reality. You're the timeline. Everything has changed because you have decided so. So I still believe the outside is the authorship. That is the loop. You're trying to become the source while still asking the reflection for permission. All right? So be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is Romans 12:2. We constantly talk about Romans 12:2. All right? Transformation doesn't begin with action. It begins with perception. The mind here, we say, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The mind here is not just thoughts. It is the lens through which you interpret yourself and reality. Are you interpreting yourself and reality through the lens of that SP loves me, or through the lens of I am love? Blanket statement, cross everything. I am love. I am the center of this reality. When I walk in the room, I bring the love with me because I am love. That person they're just another form within the love that I am. Hear that? They're a form within the love that I am. But when I say my SP loves me, I'm a form within the love that they are. I know, right? So transformation doesn't begin with action. It begins with perception. The mind is not just thoughts. It's the lens through which you interpret yourself and reality. When that lens changes, everything changes. You stop reacting as the old version of yourself and begin moving as the one who already is what you desire, because you are. Nothing external has to move first, because the true transformation is happening at the level of being, right? And we did a discussion where we defined being. Renewing the mind means what? Releasing the habit of referencing the past, of referencing the circumstances, of referencing him, of referencing her, of referencing the patterns, of referencing the old stories, and choosing again right now. It is the powerful decision to no longer think from limitation, but from wholeness. And as you sustain that, your life begins to reflect it. The renewal isn't something you do once. It's something that you live. A continual returning to the truth of who you are until that truth becomes more natural than anything you used to believe about yourself. That job's going to hire me. That's a different energetic frequency than I am prosperity. The money will find me no matter what. And this job is just one form within the awareness that I am, that of course it will flow to me as well. The SP loves me is different than I am love. And I meet love in every corner, every aspect of my life, every crevice of my life. Love just oozes to me. And that person is one form within my awareness, and love flows from them to me as well. Completely different energy. In one case, they're the source, right? So now you're measuring, you measure this entire journey on them. Completely oblivious to your life in every other area. You wake up and you put on SP affirmations. Ugh, pathetic. The first thing that you do when you wake up is you say an affirmation to the SP gods. You put on your SP identity suit. Yes. Every 30 minutes you're checking to make sure you're in the identity of the SP loves me. You feel bad at work because you thought about somebody in the wrong way. You think it lowers your vibration, and now you're scared the SP can't come back to you now. And now you're checking your phone, no text from the SP for 3 hours. Am I doing it right? Am I really being God? It doesn't matter if you're being God. You're acting like they are the measuring stick on if you are God or not. If you are sitting there thinking, am I doing this right? Am I being God right? If that person doesn't come back, you're making them the measurement on if you are divine enough. They are the measurement on if you are God enough. I want you to think about how pathetic that is. It doesn't even sound right hearing it, does it? Does that make you say, oh, yeah, I'm fine with that? Yeah, I'm cool with that. You know you're more than that. It shouldn't sit right with you because it was never meant to be your anchor. It's not meant to be your anchor. It is not meant to be your anchor. You're meant to be your anchor. Source, truth, identity. You are meant to be your anchor. It's about you, seeing you. Okay? So, renewing the mind means releasing the habit of referencing the past, the patterns, the old stories of who you were, and choosing again right now. Transformation is not confirmed by the world. You being God is not confirmed by that person. I can't stress this enough. I can't stress it enough. How if you make that person, what they do, how they show up, the measurement on if you're divine enough. Am I doing this right? Am I being God enough, right? Is this clear enough? Like, this is an important point right here. This is a very important point. If you're measuring your divinity based on one person showing up, you're better than that. You're too divine for that. You're too divine for that. Okay? All right. So 6, taking the throne of your own consciousness. This is the moment that the whole game changes, right? When you understand this, the game can change. When you make it about you. Because now we're not looking at one little off thing. And I'm not measuring who I am against this person. It's truly about me. And we're looking at full life transformation, right? When I stop asking what is happening out there, are they texting me back? When I stop waking up and measuring my divinity, I yawn. I don't even brush my teeth yet. And I'm stressed out about if they text me back or not. Right? I stop asking what is happening out there and I start asking, who am I being right now? What about right now? What about right now? What about right now? Am I the one who is chosen or the one waiting to be chosen? Am I the one who is love or the one trying to get love? You can, I'll just be a little bit more blunt. You can try to explain it to me the best way that you can. But if your central identity is my specific person loves me, you can't sit here and convince me that you're doing this for you. You can't convince me. You can't convince me that you're not doing this shit. Just you're simply focused on that person and they're the God of your reality. You can't tell me that. They're not. If your central identity is about another person, you'll always measure your divinity against them. What they do will define. You'll have to remind yourself. Oh, that's such a crazy thing to say. When somebody, quote unquote, acts right or acts wrong, and it causes you to question if you're God enough, alarm should be going off. Somebody does something and you begin to question if you're divine enough, it should be an alarm going off to say, whoa, hold up. I'm measuring my divinity on them. This should immediately, all right, he did this, she did this, but it's okay because now I can just remember who I am. All right. So am I the one who is loved or the one trying to get love? Am I the source or am I orbiting something else? All right. So Matthew 5:14 says, you are the light of the world. We cooked in this one too. All right. You are the light of the world. I said is revelation. All right. I meant to put one is. You are the light of the world is revelation. It is, hear this. All right. Hear your boy out. It is not saying that you carry light. It is saying you are the very thing that makes anything visible at all. Boom. Just like light doesn't need permission to shine, you don't need validation to be who you are. Every experience, every person, every moment is only known because you are aware of it. Without you, without your awareness, there is no world being experienced. So the question isn't whether you are light. It's not a question of if you are light. It is whether you are dimming yourself by believing something outside you defines what you're allowed to be. If they show up this way, that means I'm divine enough. If they don't, I'm questioning, am I doing this right? Am I being God enough? Am I walking in my divinity enough? Of course you are. That's effortless. That's who you are without trying. You don't have to affirm for your heart to beat. You don't have to affirm to breathe. You just are divine. Light doesn't argue with darkness. It doesn't negotiate with shadows. It simply shines, and its presence, okay? Light simply shines, and in its presence, everything is revealed for what it is. Okay, did you hear how profound that was? Light simply shines. And in the presence of light, everything is revealed for what it is. You are the light of the world. So when you're aware of yourself as that light, as what you desire to be, everything else is just revealed for what it is because of your light. This is your power. When you stop trying to fix, chase, control what appears outside of you, and instead stand fully in the knowing of who you are, not who you and your SP are, but who you are, the entire landscape of your life reorganizes. Why? Because light does what light has always done. It illuminates. It clarifies confusion. Light cuts through darkness. It clarifies the bullshit. It clears out the dust. It transforms. Light transforms simply by being present. Light transforms simply by being present. And when you truly understand this, you don't need to ask life to change anymore. You're going to become the one through which change is inevitable because you become aware of yourself as the source. Beautiful. Beautiful. Light don't chase, light illuminates. All right? So if you're honest, making it about others is actually typically more comfortable. Because if it's about them, you don't have to fully choose yourself. You can stay in observation mode. You can stay in analysis. You can stay in maybe. Maybe, they show up a little bit different. I don't know, how do I ignore the circumstances when I want them to be with me? Your whole identity is based off this person. Right? So you can stay in observation mode, you can stay in analysis, you can stay in maybe, but when you make it about you, there's no one left to wait on. There's no more measurement. You can no longer measure who you are based on them, right? There's no one left to blame. They showed up like this, but I have to remember who I was there. You can't blame them no more when it's about you. There's no one left to interpret. I don't know what this means, but I'm going to stay in the knowing of who I am. You don't have that excuse no more. You just are it. All right? There's only a decision. This is who I am now. Okay? How much battery I got? Oh, we good. We going to make it. We got 7%. We got plenty. 7. Oh, no. Fuck. Katie finna say something. All right. We got 7% yet. All right. So integration, the only measurement that matters. The only measurement that matters. All right. Understand this point. Understand this point. You are no longer measuring your progress. You're no longer measuring your progress by texts, by actions, by circumstances, by timing. You're no longer doing that. The old you, the SP loves me identity, when you put them at the center of your universe, that's what they did. They measured progress by the text, by the actions, by the circumstance, by the timing. That's what they did. Okay, so y'all want to play games? Y'all want to put a timer on me, or y'all want to put a counter on me, huh? All right, that's cool. We can play that game. We can play that game. All right. So you're no longer going to be measuring your progress based on that. That's what the old version of you, who are you? Well, I'm in a loving relationship with my SP. My SP loves me and they adore me. That person, because the SP was the center of their reality, they measured progress by text, by actions, by circumstances, by timing. Okay? You are only measuring your progress by one thing and one thing only. How do I relate to myself right now? Who do you see yourself as right now? Who do you see yourself as right now? Do I see myself as the source? Or am I still checking reflections? So a quote from Rumi. All right, it's a beautiful quote. It says, "What you seek is seeking you." It sounds like poetic for the broken heart, poetry for the broken heart. Okay, so it sounds like something that you would use to ease someone that was longing. Right? It's not poetry meant to comfort longing, though. It is a direct collapse of separation itself. All right, so let me say that one more time. What you seek is seeking you. The desire you feel is not random. It ain't one-sided. The desire that you feel, it is life recognizing itself from two directions at once. So that desire shows up within your awareness and it's pulling, it's telling you, I'm you. You're already me. The desire is magnetism. It means that it's yours. It's you already. It wants to express itself through you, right? So the desire you feel, it ain't random. It ain't one-sided. It is life recognizing itself from two directions at once. I see you, you see me. You're not reaching out toward anything distant. You're becoming conscious of something that is already yours at the level of being. So the longing is the evidence of connection. Let's go further. What if the ache that you feel, what if that longing, that ache, that heartbreak, that need for somebody that you feel, it's not because it's missing? What if it's because you're still viewing it as separate from you? Wow, Alex. I know. It only takes 100 times to say something for it to sink into your head, right? What if you only feel that separation because you're viewing it as separate from you? What if the pursuit ends the moment you realize there is nothing to chase, only something to become conscious of? The seeker and the sought dissolve into one movement. When you stop searching from a place of lack and instead stand as the one who already is. How do you do that? You make a choice. You choose to unconditionally be the person that you desire to be. When you decide to stand as one who already is, reality will close the gap that never truly existed. Because you finally will stop pretending that it is ever or could ever be apart from you. You can make the choice right now to see yourself as the person that you desire to be, to make it about you and completely collapse that distance. All right? So that was basically it. So I got a couple reflection questions on the last couple minutes. I'm going to post these in the Discord as well. Of course, if you joined late, if you're not in the Discord, go and join. It's a link in the bio. If you can't get in, figure it out. Figure it out. Open the link in a browser, open it in another social media. Figure that shit out. All right. So 4 reflection questions. Number one. I'm going to post the reflection questions. Number 1 is, where in my life am I still making something or someone the center? Where in your life are you still making something else the center of your reality? Where? Where are you still making something else the center of your reality? Where? And what will you do from this point forward? What will you do from this point forward? Nah, this one not no. It's not no. It says stop. What identity will you have from this fucking point forward? How about that? All right, number 2. What am I currently using as a scoreboard for my worth or progress? Do you ever catch yourself measuring because something did something or something looks a certain way? Right? Now you're saying, oh, well, I must not be doing it right. I must not be divine enough. What if I'm doing it wrong? You catch yourself doing that. Nobody else can be a measurement for your divinity. That should already be a red flag or an alarm that goes off, right? Number 3, who am I being right now without referencing anything outside of me? So right now, if you could not reference anything outside of you, the past, what you want in the future, how people are showing up, other people's opinions of what you should or shouldn't do, society's opinions of who you should or shouldn't be, if you couldn't reference any of those things, who would you decide to be right now? And number 4, if I fully took the throne of my consciousness, what would feel different immediately? If you fully assumed the mantle, catch of the lifetime. Amen to that, Emily. Amen to that, goddess. Right? Amen to that, goddess. All right. If you fully took the throne of your own consciousness, what would feel different immediately? Everything. To know that you truly are unconditionally aware of yourself is everything you desire to be, everything would change immediately. Right? So in closing, you are not meant to chase reflections. You are not meant to measure yourself against anything outside of you or anyone outside of you. You are meant to stand so fully in your being that reality has no choice but to organize around you. Why? Here we go. Why? Because you decide to organize around yourself. Ended it with the bar. I know, ended it with a fucking gym. Reality will have no choice but to organize around you when you begin to organize around yourself. Why, Alex? Because you are reality. Oh my God, that makes sense, Alex. I know. It's the same thing we've been saying. 100th time is a charm. I get it. Right now, I'm just playing with y'all. But look, love y'all. Right? Love y'all. You deserve everything that you desire. Give it to yourself. Stop putting other people on these pedestals. Take them off. Strip them down. Right? Another thing, I appreciate y'all. I just want to say thank you. Let me see how much battery I got. All right, I got 4 minutes to glaze y'all up a little bit, to give y'all some flowers a little bit. I think in any manifesting space, any community, I will put our community up there above anybody's. I know it's probably the least serious community, probably the most characters of any place, right? But man, when it comes to y'all supporting each other, showing up for each other, the respect y'all show for one another, challenging one another, challenging me, right? It's just the way that the community has grown, whether it's on these lives, the Discord, the last couple of weeks, phenomenal, right? We've launched a whole bunch of new things. It's been absolutely incredible to watch everything, to be a part of it, right? We are all walking each other home together. We are all on this beautiful journey together. Okay? Love y'all. Respect y'all. Appreciate y'all. And thank y'all, right? Some of the more powerful things that I've heard, right, whether it was I'm not going to put anybody's name out here unless you're in the Discord, then you know, right? But like some of the more powerful stories that I've heard recently haven't even been with me, right? I've had nothing to do with them, right? They've been y'all helping one another within that community, which is so fucking beautiful, right? Whether y'all are jumping on voice chats or talking off the server or whatever the case may be, I truly love it, right? It's just what it was meant for, right? It's stems from the days I was bringing y'all up on TikTok, right? And I was just circling, we were just rotating through y'all, and now y'all are truly finding, y'all are truly like just community. It's a community in there, right? So, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Go. Family for sure, and I know even the temperature of the server has changed a lot, right? It was, I had my questions about kind of the direction I was going for a while, and then made a bunch of changes, flipped it, and it seems like since that moment, everything has just been fucking uphill. It's been fucking uphill, right? It's been great, for sure. So, appreciate y'all. I'm excited to see what it's gonna look like in a month. The Discord's only been up for 2 months. It's only been up for 2 fucking months. Matter of fact, we put it up on, I think, January 16th. It's March 17th. 2 months. It feels like a long fucking time. Yeah, we started in January, because remember, we were in the Telegram in December. The reason why this Discord was started is we were just talking shit. I was talking shit to y'all, and I said, if y'all for fucking 30 days would just lock in. Matter of fact, let's make a challenge. And I was like, okay, let's make the Telegram. We make the Telegram in December. And we did the 30-day challenge. And then I was like, we're going to start it January 1st. But I didn't start it January 1st. I started like January 10th or 5th. I think it was the 16th, I believe. But it was somewhere in the beginning of January, right? It's only March 17th. All right. It's only March 17th. So like, hey, kudos to y'all, man. Kudos to y'all. It's crazy how that one fucking decision just becomes an unfolding. Just becomes this old and unfolding, right? So yeah, it's been an expansive experience. We made mistakes along the way. We've and I'll take responsibility for the slip ups I've had. But yeah, this is a community thing, right? We all in this together, you feel me? We all in this shit together, you feel me? I am Phi, I am. You know what I'm saying? For real. Hella learning opportunities. But we've been knocking them out. We're gonna introduce a game night. So for the game night, right, it'll be like a team thing. So we'll have like a game and music night to where we're looking for games. Me and the mods are like looking for games to actually play during that time, right? But it'd be cool to have different games go on and like a different point system, and then have teams. So we're looking into that. It should be pretty fun, right? Something to kind of get away from the manifesting space for a little bit and just keep building the community. And then even the things that we've done to kind of try to get more voices in there, like the anonymous stuff, so y'all can say things that y'all want. I'm waiting to see who the first person gonna be to talk shit about me. But it's cool, it's still anonymous. It's all right, it's anonymous. We're gonna keep your secrets to yourself. But it's just another place for you to ask questions, because I know sometimes the space gets dominated by a couple people. Sometimes it gets dominated by not a couple, but maybe a few people, right? And it's just an opportunity for maybe more quiet people to speak up. We also took away the member levels, because at a certain time, at first it was supposed, you try different things to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, you move on, right? But not that it was a bad thing. It was just, was it actually pointing towards an environment where we were trying to get everybody to talk, or was it just something that was just rewarding people for talking the most and all that? So yeah. Yeah, we still have badges. We have a lot of purple badges now. A lot of people have purple badges now. A lot of people. And I'm about to hand out a bunch more. A bunch more. The goal is to have everybody purple. A lot of the yellow badges have just faded away. Unfortunately. But like the goal is to have everybody purple. So it's been, we're gonna have a bunch more pretty soon. A bunch more pretty soon. So like the purple. Yeah, well, it's good for you. Congrats. Congrats that you like it. Congrats that you like that. Nah, you're not gonna lose it for crashing out. It doesn't. You don't lose it for being a human, right? It's more so just kind of contribution and help. And then we're gonna have some more stuff, some more like badges, like for instance, people who no problem, people who don't engage much but do, or somebody who sparks a good conversation. We'll have certain other ways to kind of try to push engagement as well. So be fun, right? Month 2 now, we going into, only 2 months is crazy work. Crazy fucking work. Do I only talk about SP? Fuck no. Fuck no. A pottery badge, we can do that. Emily, you should make it an official event. It's not an official event, right? Because you kind of just say like, hey, I'm about to go live. It'd be cool if you actually made an event for it. Or maybe you did, and I didn't see it. I don't think I've seen it. Yeah, because if you did it in advance, I always struggle. So even when I try to throw things off the cuff, like, hey, I'm streaming this or I'm doing this, off the cuff, I never really get that many people. When I give y'all some time, a lot of people show up. So just something to think about. You can do it however you want to do it. I know we value flow and whatever. It's no right or wrong way. Just, yeah, I feel you. That makes sense. And I appreciate you speaking in this live too, Miss Emily. The MVP. RD and Emily are this month's server MVPs. My bad, y'all. It just went dead. Let me put it back up on TikTok. But yeah. I appreciate y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all. You know we all in this together. I hope y'all know we all in this together. I trust y'all do. I trust y'all know that. Everybody talking shit finna get fucking blocked too. Thank you. Let me scroll through the fucking comments. Let me see who was the most disrespectful. Y'all finna stream The Sims for real? Y'all finna stream The Sims for real? That'd be cool. For y'all that game, why don't y'all stream in the Discord? For y'all that game. That goes wild. What the people want to see. I feel that. I feel that. When is that marathon that you done? You already ran one, didn't you? Or you training for one? Okay, I think you training for one right now. You and my SP this turn. Who is my SP? Who is this? Who is this mysterious creature? Where is it? Where is it? No, I don't have. I'm writing one. Oh, and I do have one. Appreciate you, Lord. Appreciate you, Lord. Where is this? Where is it? I got a giant. I need it to do something for me. If you find my SP, tell it I need it to do something for me right now. So the book that I had, it's not about any of the stuff that I talk about now, right? When I first started doing content, I was just doing kind of men's coaching, right? I was talking about things like purpose and retention and dealing with women, right? But I was trying to do it from a more conscious perspective. However, that evolved because this was always who I was, but I don't know, I just wasn't doing content like that because in the beginning somebody challenged me to do content for men. But eventually I got to a point where I said, man, fuck it. I'm not finna do this because it feels like I'm denying a part of myself. And so I just leaned all the way into giving my perspective of non-duality, conscious creation, manifest, and all those things. And then we got here. And really in the beginning, I was just kind of giving discussions. Nobody was joining. There was like 3 people joining. It's like 3 people fucking joining. One of the motherfuckers was like, shut the fuck up. Stop yapping. The other motherfucker was like, repent. Jesus loves you. Don't go to hell. And I'm like, fuck. God damn. And there was one person I was like, damn, you know what? You might be all right. So, okay, cool. But, you know, then when people did start engaging, the conversations just started kind of following the flow of that. And to where more people were kind of giving. Then I don't do this anymore, but I used to go through all the comments and like see, okay, what are the common questions? And I would use that to kind of guide my next discussions. So the discussions were flowing with the conversations that we had in here. Now I used to I stopped doing that, you know, around the time where the Discord really started to turn up because I started using those conversations to cater to these conversations. So sometimes y'all be like, man, I was just thinking about that. Well, yeah, it's probably because we're all in the same space. And so while we're in that space, things are coming up and I'm kind of trying to predict the direction of certain conversations and I'm seeing the flow of it and boom. You know, I'm putting that information out like that. So these lives basically stay in sync with the flow. Right? Even when it comes to the presence challenge and now this challenge that we're doing, this 7-day Make It About Yourself challenge, right? That also is just, it ties directly into what we talked about today. And so it's all connected. It's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. I appreciate you, Queen J. Truly. Appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate all of y'all. Josh, what's good? Where is that challenge in the Discord, Ryan? My MVP can't be, the MVP of the Discord can't be asking questions like that. It's in the daily missions. It's in the daily missions section. Dang. Never mind. I guess Ryan, you gonna be MVP 2 and Emily's gonna be MVP 1. But it's in the daily missions section. You know, the daily mission section, the place where I post almost every day reminders of this is what the challenge of the day is. Pause and breathe, and where I put all of the things that I'm trying to remind y'all. No. You're not all number 1. We're not giving participation trophies. No. Hell no. Yeah. I fuck with William Blake. Yes, absolutely. I've quoted William. That's funny that you say that. I've quoted William Blake in a few of the discussions lately. I've quoted William Blake. William Blake. Yeah, Roy is for sure got a life. Roy is a silent watcher until she wants to drop an absolute bar, or until debate night comes, and all of a sudden she just shows up out the shadows. RD shows up out the shadows to debate. Till debate night. Maybe we should have fan voting. Fan voting in the Discord for the month. Like, best advice of the month. Best advice giver. Like a peer voted poll. Or like the kindest person. Or, the most improved. That actually would be cool. That actually would be pretty cool. Yeah. So I know you too spiritual for that. I got you. I still think it'll be fun though. I still think it'll be fun. But I have to ask y'all for real though for it to actually be fun, because I want to do fun things. It's this balance, right? The balance of trying to do fun things, but also trying to keep it inclusive, because you want to implement certain things, but you don't want it to become heavy towards a certain amount of people, to where other people don't feel comfortable jumping in, right? So that's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately. That I've been, and of course, you are never just gonna get everybody to talk. Not everybody wants to talk. Some people just want to watch. Some people just join and they don't watch. But yeah, all those things are thought about. All right, what's happening? Yeah, we're gonna do the 7-day chakra fixing challenge next. Let me not say that on stream. For somebody thinks, oh no, my chakras, I can't get my SP. Yeah. So you jump to the Instagram and got the notes. Y'all funny. Katie, your life path number is 7. I know. I knew that. I can read your mind. Everything about you is 7. Oh man. See, yeah, that is a crazy statement. That is a very crazy statement. You're right, yeah. a nine path. I don't know what you could be talking about. A 9-path number. Oh, the video where I was talking to myself. I appreciate it. Yeah, those videos. You know what's crazy is and I was just looking at it. Oh, so I did some video work back a while ago, a couple of years ago. I used to do a lot of video work. And whenever I first got into it, I would do my own personal projects. And one of the projects that I did was a conversation with myself. Except I did it, like, I filmed it as if I was in the screen with myself, right? So it was literally like I was talking. I was sitting across from myself speaking. And I ran across that video today and I just downloaded it. I was like, damn. But why that's interesting is because I always wanted to do it with my talking content, but setting that up and do it was, I don't like to put a lot of effort into getting my content out. I just want to do it. So then I was like, you know, why don't I just fucking talk? Why do I have to, like, why am I needing the perfect setup and to set this up like similar? Like, I could do that eventually, but why am I chasing that perfection instead of just delivering the message how I want to? So I was like, okay, cool. Let me just deliver it how I want to. And once I did that, it was like boom, boom, boom. Those were the videos that really got traction. That really, because it, even before, it was crazy is I was talking to one of my clients, and at that time I only had like, I don't even think I had like 10,000 followers on TikTok. And I was like, you know what? I could just this. I was like, I don't know why I said, I haven't really been taking this serious and I've just been doing it, but I could do this and decide that this channel does well. And so I had set this goal. I was like, you know what? I'm finna hit 40K. And as soon as I set that intention, like a couple of days later, I came up with the idea, just fucking do the side by side shit. Just do the conversation with yourself. And like 2 of them, and all of a sudden the channel just took off and it went from like 10K to 40K, like quick, extremely quick. So it was just a decision. And I remember talking to her later and she was like, dang, yeah, I just was watching the numbers go up. It was like, damn, this motherfucker just decided that shit. So it was pretty cool. But I know somebody's gonna be like, well, why not make it 100? Why not make it 2? I don't know. I like going with, I'm more of a present, go with the flow type of guy. Unless it's about money. And then now that I've seen that there hasn't really been a monetary difference in 10K versus 40K, right? It's been a difference in like, it's barely been a difference, bro. Like monetarily. Like, there's a difference in like the coaching stuff, but I don't even look at that income. It just goes into my PayPals and I don't even look at that shit. So I just make it that way so it'll be worth my time. Anyways, I'm just rambling now.